Okay, so we're going to start doing this. We've got a lot of content to get through. It's the last day. It's very exciting, and I really want to kick this off on a great note. So I'm really hoping that you're going to find this interesting and, more than that, actually helpful, and hopefully get you excited to try it yourself. So let's go and have a look. So this is me. I've already been able to do too much more. Have written a book as well, so check it out. There's another link at the very end of the deck as well. There's contact details, but I will also be on Slack for the rest of the day. Now, I have had the privilege, honor, and everything else of speaking in 5 continents, 27 countries, 53 cities, and I've done in excess of 200 presentations. And this is just online. This is just in person, right? This isn't even including, online events such as this. So what I'm trying to say here is there's a lot of experience that's bundled up into this particular presentation. And I'm going to try and get through all of it as quickly as I can. But if you do have more questions, like I said, jump on the Slack channel and I'll try and do my best to answer them. I had the privilege and honor of working with some great brands. Always love to work with more. So, check us out if you think that we can help you. So, A/B testing holistically. That's the premise of today. So it's more than A/B testing. We're looking at the holistic approach, which is I coined this. Well, I didn't coin it. I actually created this new methodology for testing within email called the holistic testing methodology. It's very much based on the scientific one. In fact, it's pretty much it. But there's a few things that are different to how you've been taught A/B testing within email marketing. So we're going to go and try and do this today. So it's all based on the iterative learning, right? So we're going to be researching, planning. We're going to be looking and creating a hypothesis. We're going to be setting up and running the test. We're going to be reviewing the results, and we're going to be applying the learnings. That's just one test. And then we just rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. And it's all very, very exciting is the word. It's not necessarily, I mean, it'll end up coming very naturally for you. And when I'm saying exciting, because you're going to running tests like this means that you'll get more robust results because they're more robust tests. And therefore, if you get the more robust results, you're more likely to get a winner. And if you get a winner, then hey, it's a bonus. That's what running a test is all about. Getting that winner and getting the insights. Okay, I can see someone saying something about buffering. I hope everything's okay. Gonna jump to this one here. There is, I've got the link for it as well, so you can go and call upon that. There's like 188 cognitive biases just in this wheel alone. Cognitive biases are essentially, they come under behavioral science, which comes under psychology. And essentially, cognitive bias is a shortcut that we humans have learnt. We've kind of innately taught ourselves to help us to make decisions. And there are some, so the behavioral scientists go and learn and research and study and test and everything like this and get to find out more about them. And we email marketers can get to leverage them. We can get to actually understand how they work and how we can use them to help our customers, our prospects, our subscribers, our event attendees, right? How we can help them to make decisions easier, because that's what they're all about. That's the essence of a cognitive bias. So what we want to do here is we want to make sure that we are using them ethically. So not only, because I'm going to start to bring in AI as well. So we've got holistic testing methodology, which is a different methodology, a different testing process. We've got Gen AI. We're going to be looking at how we can be using that. We've got cognitive biases. We're going to show you how you can use them along with the Gen AI. And all of this is wrapped up that we have to make sure that we are balancing persuasion with ethical marketing. We don't want to be persuading them to do things that they want, that they don't want to do, things that they will regret later, things that they feel forced into, or anything like that. That's not what we do. What we're doing is we're simply using cognitive biases to help them to make a decision. That's pretty much it. And I'll show you how in a minute. The ones we're going to use today is loss aversion, which I think we're all familiar with. It's probably the most used one, right? So we tend to, don't miss out in your subject line and things. It's, like I said, it's a very natural thing to do because we as humans actually fear the negative more than we appreciate the positive, right? So that we don't, that fear of missing out, FOMO, is really, really big. That taps into loss aversion. So that's what this is, right? And it's a very powerful one, but it's so powerful you shouldn't use it very often because, one, if you use it too often, they'll become numb to it, right? They'll just go, oh, they're doing it again, blah, blah, blah. They'll start seeing through and it will stop. It will lose its potency as such, its effectiveness. And two, it can be, if used, depending on how you use it, could be determined as being a little bit manipulative unless you, again, remember, use it ethically, okay? Curiosity gap. Now, this is another thing. Innate to humans, what we like to know. It's that gap between what we know and what we don't know. And if you sort of present something that they don't know, then there's that gap, and then we're going, oh, we need to bring that up. We need to find out what the answer is. Okay. So what we want to do is test both of these against each other. We wanted to find out for us, our brand, the holistic brand, which one worked best for promoting an event. So at Holistic, we have tons of content. We write blogs, we have downloads, we have webinars, and we have this monthly webinar, which is with panels and everything. It's called Email and More. So we wanted to go and test to see, did one of these drive more click-throughs? In our case, we were using click-throughs to the event than the other, right? So we created a hypothesis. And the hypothesis says emails that utilize loss aversion-oriented elements. This is where the holistic testing methodology kicks in, because we tested subject lines, body copy, and call to actions. And I'll explain to you why in a minute. Will result in higher click-through rates than emails that utilize curiosity-oriented elements. This is because the psychological impact of potential losses will create a stronger motivation for recipients to engage with the email content. Okay, so there we go. We've gone and stated that we believe that loss aversion is going to be the winner. It's going to win over curiosity. Now, we're going to look at the results in a little minute, but I'm going to explain how we then set this test up. But first, I just want to go back to that little point of what I said to you about the different elements. Normally, when we've been taught how to test, we've been taught just test one element, because if you test more than one element, so you've got a multivariate campaign or multivariate test, which is fine, they work, but you can't determine why. You can't determine what was the cause of the uplift. Why did we achieve that uplift? Was it because of the subject line? Was it because of the call to action? Right? Because we've tested both. But holistic is different. The holistic testing methodology is different because what we're doing is we're testing the subject line, the body copy. We could also do imagery as well. Imagery, call to actions, everything, even landing page. to support that hypothesis. So therefore, the call to action, subject line, body copy, they're all going to be loss aversion for version A. You know, and then the version B, it's all going to be supporting the curiosity. Okay, the curiosity gap. So what that means then is that we have got two emails that are not just testing one element, subject line, but they're testing subject line, call to action, and body copy versus another one. And so therefore, we're still doing an A-B split test. Therefore, what we're doing is we're actually working out is loss aversion altogether as a package, right, going to deliver a better result than curiosity, as opposed to just the subject line versus the subject line, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to work out how we can be using Gen AI to help us, because most of us are not behavioral scientists. Most of us have not been taught the psychology of people, and we haven't read numerous books like I have done because I'm besotted with this topic. um, so we don't have that knowledge. And so what we can do is we can use Gen AI to help us. It's our tool. It's our helper. It's basically going to be almost, let's say, teaching us of how to do it. Yeah. So it's teaching us about the cognitive bias. It's going to be helping us to work out how we can use it. It's going to be helping us to write the copy as well. And when I say write the copy, what I mean is write the first draft, because you are the email marketer. You're the director of the customer's journey. You are the skilled person. You're the one that knows your customer, your database, your products, and all the rest of it. So what we need to do is we need to understand that we are in charge of this tool, and it's there to help us, to give us the information that we don't currently know. Now, that's not an excuse for you to never, ever learn about cognitive biases, behavioral science, or anything like that. No, no, no. I would like you to start doing this and then go, oh, do you know what? I'm really into this. I'm going to start finding out more information, because that is the key factor. Because at the end of the day, because you are the boss of this tool, you still have to approve it. You still have to say, yes, they're right. Yes, they have defined that cognitive bias correctly. So I'm confident with this. So at the end of the day, you're still in charge. Now, going to just give you some quick tips. I've only got half an hour, so I'm going to give you some quick tips as to how to use it. So first thing, build up to the request. How I tip or how I prompt, sorry, how I prompt my Gen AI. We have our personal version of it, right? We have our own private instance, and we have trained it. But if you haven't trained it, that's okay, because you just build up. So what you want to do is you want to be building up to the request. I'm going to give you some specific examples by asking it to tell you about your company, about your products, about your ethics, about, everything like this. So what you're doing here is you're saying, tell me about, and you're finding out how much they know. And then you can fill in the gaps. You can say, oh, don't forget, we also do this and we sell this and blah, blah, blah. And, all that kind of stuff. Because what you're trying to do is let your company know about your offerings and about your tone of voice and all the rest of it. So do all of that first of all. You want to be able to treat it, that what I do is I treat my Gen AI tool, who I've actually given it a name, like it is an intern, as an intern. An eager intern who's very, very clever. And I love working with him. Okay, so you want to be giving him or her the detailed brief then. What is it that you want help with? So you're running a campaign. What is its objectives? What's the product range? What's the prices? Give them as much information as possible, just like you were going to be giving a brief to an intern. Okay. Then what you want to do is you want to say to them, okay, again, like an intern, have you got any questions? Is there anything else that you would like to know? Anything that so that you can carry out this job, that this task that I have given you, to the best of your, knowledge and your capabilities. And so it will ask you a bunch of questions. And then at the end, after you've answered the questions and everything like this, you can then go and specify and say, I'd like multiple options. So ask it to give you multiple variations. So what I like to do, remember also what I said, first draft, I tend to pick and cherry pick and go, oh, I like this and put it all together, blend it, and then I do the editing. But again, it's all up to you. But never, ever, ever just go, okay, that's it, and then stick it in an email and send. You still need to edit it for sure. So, like I said, we're going to be briefing our Gen AI. So we're going to be asking it to tell us all about our brand customers' products. We're going to ask what is our brand's writing style and tone of voice, and it should give you a nice, concise information. You can upload emails if you want. You can point it to your URL, all the rest of it. So, be as helpful as you can so that it can help you. And then, like I said, give the brief. Now, in this case, we're doing a test. So it's not just writing the copy, but we also want to let it know what's the hypothesis, what is the test objective, what is the campaign objective, and what's the success metric that you're going to be using as well. All of that information is pertinent for the Gen AI tool to know. Then, like I said, go and ask it to ask you 5 questions or more if you want. Answer them as thoroughly and as in-depth as possible. The more information it has, the better job it's going to do. Then you like I said, you provide the answers and you ask it to deliver 3 different subject lines, pre-headers, body copies, call to actions for each of the variants, right? And that's it. It's right? Now the hard bit is that you have to edit it. And that tends to be the most time-consuming part of it. So just make sure that you are prepared to do that and that you do a really, really good job in doing that. And then you go and develop the campaigns. So your testing process, we're going to be testing in this particular one, because now we're going into the case study side of things. We use the holistic testing methodology. So therefore, we actually did test the subject line, the pre-header, body copy, and call to action. And the control or version A was with the loss aversion. And then the version B, we changed those same 4 elements to be invoking curiosity. We ensured all factors supported the hypothesis. This is a really key factor. You've got to make sure everything, alt text, everything that is outside of these elements are the same. So that we are literally only testing curiosity versus loss aversion. Otherwise, if you end up doing different text, different alt text, or you change an image when that's not actually part of it, and now you're doing a loss aversion plus different image versus curiosity plus different image, and therefore you're not going to know what the winner is, or you will know what the winner is or who the winner is. You won't know why. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're running a 50-50 split test. Now, the reason why we want to do this is because lots of reasons. Most of our tools in email marketing, our ESP split test tools, give you the ability to do, say, 10, 10, 80, right? 10% variant A, 10% variant B. The winner gets sent automatically then to the 80%. Now, the problem is that we One, statistical significance is often an issue just because of volume or lack thereof, right? Sample size. But we also want to give it time. We that 2 hours, that's not enough. If you're testing subject lines, yeah, 2 hours can do it. But I have tested time and time and time and time again, and I actually find there is hardly any correlation. In fact, we're going to see this correlation with subject lines and results, right? So, what we want to make sure is that we are testing for the right success metric. So, subject lines, in my case, don't, unless you're a publisher and that's what you're rewarded on, they're not the ones that we want to be using. So we want to be using clicks or preferably conversions. Now, in our case, we couldn't use conversions because our systems don't tee up. But so we went for the next best. But I would always prefer to use conversions over clicks. Now, and think of it like a pyramid, right? So subject lines happen really, really quickly, opens, but clicks take a little bit longer. Conversions take, or inverse pyramid, sorry, in the clicks, the conversions are fewer and they take longer. So you've got that inverse one, lots of opens, fewer clicks, and then even fewer conversions. Right. And all of that is a time factor. So conversions on your site, you need to have a look. How often, how long does it take them to make a decision? Depends on what it is that you're asking them. Is it buying something? Is it a considered purchase? Is it a quick purchase? In ours, it was registration. So we gave it 7 days because we know our audience tend to come back to our emails. They like our emails, so they tend to come back, and then they will go and register later on. So we gave it 7 days. That's why we ran a 50-50. So 50A, 50B. We use clicks as a success metric, as I said, and we also then went and used a statistical significant calculator, and we ensured that the results were statistically significant. And I hope that's the last time I have to say that because it's a tongue twister. I say it all the time, though. Anyhow, so here's just a little preview. So what we ended up doing is we tested, because you have to go and repeat it. You can't just take one test because it could be an anomaly. There could be, some announcement in the news that actually skewed the results. There could be, who knows? There could be so many things that get in the way. So you have to do it so that it's like at least 2 out of 3. But you can test it more than 3. Don't just limit yourself to 3. I've often, and certainly if it's a very long-term decision that you're making, so that insight, you're sort of like, maybe you're testing a pricing strategy, test more than 3 times. You want to be, because that's a big business decision that you're making. Okay. So anyhow, back to this. So this is the example. We can see a call to actions are different. The top part, the imagery and everything, the promotion is the same. Copy is different. Subject line is different. And call to actions are different. And I haven't got the pre-header, but that was different too. Why is this not there? Okay, there we go. That's the one. So, like I said, we repeat the test. So, as it turns out, we do 3. We do 3 promotions for each of the webinars because it's once a month. So, we use the same hypothesis and it's promoting the same event, but it's using different copy. And so, therefore, that total of 3 over the 3 weeks, let's have a look at the results. The results really interesting. So as predicted, we thought, loss aversion's really going to get their attention. Loss aversion's going to, possibly be the winner. And for subject lines, it was. So actually, for the first campaign that we sent out, yes, open rate was higher. Click rate was marginal, so there was no statistical significance in the click rate, which was our success metric. So therefore, none. Okay. So message 2, we have, so theoretically, we could and should have run this another time. Okay. But loss aversion and curiosity for message 2, loss aversion 1, hands down, big time subject line. Curiosity 1, hands down, big time. I mean, for the clicks. So 47% uplift for curiosity with 99% significance. That's for the clicks. Yet we can see that loss aversion one with the open rates. Message 3, we got an even bigger uplift with clicks, 56% with 99% significance. And again, the open rate was higher with loss aversion. So, interesting results. Therefore, we can see that loss aversion drove increased opens, but curiosity, which is our success metric, I mean, curiosity won on the click-throughs, which is our success metric. So, and out of the 2 out of 3 tests. So, this is just giving you a sampling of what this is all about and how you can use all of these together to get phenomenal results. And like I said, because you're testing multiple elements, it actually makes the results more likely to be statistically significant. Now, statistically significant, I can see here that there's a question. It's just saying that it's more likely to be a real, true result as opposed to by chance. It could just be a fluke. It could just be a, oh, you know. So there is an actual. That's why I use a significant. You can use a statistical significant testing calculator. Just do a search. There's a lot out there. In fact, we're actually bringing our own on board. It should be live very, very soon at Holistic. So wrapping up real quick, we want to be rethinking our email strategy. We want to be testing those deeper psychological motivations with our audience to find out what ticks, what makes them tick, what motivates them. How can we use that? And then also, how can we go and use it further? We can share our insights. So I'm going to leave you here with these top tips because we've run out of time. But please, ask me any questions in Slack. Contact me, kath@holisticemail.com. If you're not on Slack, whatever the story is, love to hear from you. And let's get testing.